Hi, Angela. I think you're doing some good things here. You have used good color in all of these. I think the color choice is quite appropriate. Happy you're using fairly saturated primary, secondary colors. It's working quite well. You also have variation in your motif. So you're changing the size of the shape that you're using. You're also changing the color, which is fantastic. My only concern here is that you're using, again, representational imagery, which isn't allowed in this project. So you have these kind of sun-like shapes or star-like shapes that read as stars and suns. And my suggestion is that you use something that isn't a reference to something in the real world, something that you create, much like you did in Whimsical. So everything's good except the shape that you're using here. You might even try greater variation in the size of your motif. That'll create even better visual interest. Some huge shapes, some tiny shapes, and some medium shapes. Here in Morning, good use of gray tones, but again, you even describe them as teardrops. Again, something that references something in the real world and is representational. Move into something more non-representational or pushing the abstract version of it, much like the background that you've created here. Whimsical, good use of non-representational form. Good color, quite playful. Here I would suggest just making some of your motifs bigger than others, some smaller. Right now they become too predictable because they're all the same size. So change the size of your motif here. And again with angry, lightning bolt, something that exists. Go for something angular but not representational. Here too, it would be beneficial to radically change the size of your motifs. They are all approximately the same size, and that regularity means that it's not as visually interesting as it could be. So angular forms, I like the colors, so I would suggest keeping those. Greater variation in whatever motif you choose to use, but ditch the recognizable forms here, okay? So I think you're doing fantastic things. Some changes can be made, so I'll send them back to you. Please make those revisions and send them back to me for a grade.